You are listening to Mystery Media Group.
Yay! Keep your eyes and your heart open. Aliens are among us and are waiting to encounter you. This is Elva with Elva's Alien Encounters. I am very excited to be joining Mystery Media Group and Destination Mystery Podcast for Season 2. I will be relating true stories that have been shared with me by individuals that share a passion for unusual or alien encounters like me. For this evening's topic, I will focus on skinwalkers from the Navajo tribal lands. These supernatural individuals have intrigued me for the last 25 years, and tonight I would like to share a skinwalker account that may surprise you. So there are varied ways that a Navajo can evolve into a skinwalker, either through initiation rites involving sacrifices, murder of a relation, or practicing shamans descending into dark magic. This evolution is secretive and not widely talked about, which is why there is such an allure for society in regards to these individuals living amongst the Navajo. Rare references describe them as taller than normal humans, possessing the ability to move much faster in both a bipedal and four-legged movement than us, and wearing a combination of animal pelts and an unusual rotten odor and dark energy surrounding them. This is why this account, told to me by my friend Aaron, is so intriguing. It occurred back in the late 1990s at a remote survival retreat camp for troubled teenagers in southern Utah. He was working as a camp counselor and had taken a group of youth along with a fellow counselor on a remote backcountry canyoneering trip. They were 3 days in to a desolate area that bordered the Navajo Nation. That afternoon, the teens were going to rappel in a slot canyon. They arrived at the canyon rim, and the group started to rappel individually down to the bottom. Half of the group had made it down when a boy slipped off the canyon edge without a harness and landed halfway down the canyon wall on a ledge. Aaron quickly rappelled down to him, only to determine that his leg was badly shattered and heavy bleeding had started. The other counselor at the canyon rim determined he would start running back towards the base camp for help, but it would take at least a day and a half before his walkie-talkie would be in range to signal for help. Aaron had the remaining kids rappel down to him on the ledge to assist him with taking care of the severely injured teen and to help both groups keep as calm as possible as he dealt with this dangerous situation. Aaron applied his backcountry medical skills to stop the bleeding, wrap and support the leg injury, and prevent serious shock from overwhelming the teen. He also needed to keep both groups of kids calm and focused as night was setting in. At the very earliest, it would be a day and a half before the other counselor would be in range to radio for help. Aaron had to maintain the morale of these kids who didn't have a lot of confidence in themselves and in dealing with stressful situations. He organized them into little groups, gave them responsibilities, and turned his full attention to the severely injured boy. By now, it was dark and neither group had the materials for a fire. Aaron and his little group huddled together under a natural rock overhang midway down the canyon wall and prepared to wait out the night. As they rested against the rock wall, a figure emerged in front of them dressed in dark animal fur. It was unnaturally tall and moved gracefully and rapidly to the injured boy. Before Aaron or the others realized what they were seeing or even what was occurring, the creature had the teen in his arms and was expertly scaling the cliff wall down and away from them. Aaron was seized by panic. He was the only adult responsible for all these youth, and now something had just taken the critically injured boy and ran off with him to who knows where. The remaining teens were crying or hysterically ranting about skinwalkers and sacrifice and murders, spiraling the kids into fear speculating. He quickly had the kids prepare to night rappel into the canyon bottom to unite the two groups to keep order and maintain safety. With only their headlamps and gear, the youth rappelled down one by one. When all the kids were safely together, Aaron explained the situation and asked if they were willing to head out into the darkness in the direction the creature had taken their friend, which also was in the direction that would lead them back towards the survival retreat base camp, or stay put and rest until the sun came up. The teens unanimously agreed to head out after their friend. With a purpose in mind, they hiked with determination for the rest of the night and on into the next day, even eating as they went so as not to waste any time. As evening approached, Aaron's walkie-talkie crackled on and let him know the injured boy had been dropped off early that morning at the base camp by a strange, tall man dressed in fur who had immediately disappeared without a word. The youth had been life-flighted to a hospital in Salt Lake City and his condition had stabilized. The other camp counselor who had jogged out the night before had finally been in range so that he could radio for help and give the retreat base the details of the situation. But it was many long hours after the Skinwalker had deposited the boy so that his life might be saved. Helicopters picked up Aaron and the still shaken kids and the other counselor. Speculations that a Skinwalker had saved their friend's life and how that contradicted the dark nature of Skinwalker mythology was debated among the teenagers. The adult staff were very troubled about this for many reasons as well. Had they been accidentally on tribal lands? If it was a Skinwalker, could it leave the bounds of the reservation? And why did it bother to save this boy's life? How did it cover the 3 days out distance in the course of a single night? When the boy was later interviewed, he had almost no recollection of the night, except for moments of intense pain that would remind him of being wrapped or held tightly in fur smelling of dog and moving weirdly fast through space. Even though nearly 20 years have passed since this night, my friend Aaron is still disturbed by the event and that it probably was indeed a Skinwalker that saved that boy's life. He will say nothing against Skinwalkers and the reputation they have because his encounter with this supernatural creature had a life-altering effect on everyone at the survival camp that summer. I love that story that Aaron shared with me. To date, that is the only account I can find of a benevolent Skinwalker. If anyone else has had an experience with a Skinwalker that has been the proverbial Good Samaritan, I would love to hear about it. If you have a story to share, you can email me at elvasalianencounters@gmail.com. Thanks for listening and keep your eyes on the skies.
This is a production of Mystery Media Group.
Yay!